Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we'd do something a little fun, a little different. I thought we'd rank the live-action Batman movies in order from best to worst based off of my opinion, get a little insight on my thoughts and everything. I didn't make this tier list because for some reason it wouldn't let me make a tier list. I logged in and everything, it just wouldn't let me do it. So it's missing BVS because I do consider that partially a Batman movie. It has Batman and a lot of, Bruce Wayne scenes and everything like that. Plus, it's that and Justice League. That's what we got for. So, since Batman is in the title of Batman versus Superman, I figured I'd consider it, but it's not here. I'll just tell you where that one goes up later. But for now, let's start off with Batman 89. So, this might be a controversial opinion. Batman 89 is a very classic. It's very classic. It's a very good movie. It doesn't get everything exactly right about Batman, but it's still a really good movie. I like the origin stories and everything for Joker. The let's get nuts scene and everything is obviously a classic.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
So I would say it's probably A tier. I don't think it's S tier. I don't think it's like beautifully perfect or anything like that. I think it's A tier. Batman Returns is a pretty good one, I would say. What is it, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Catwoman's an amazing addition. She does a really good job. The scenes are all really well done and really well shot. Danny DeVito as the Penguin was an amazing actor for it and everything. It touched up on the things that 89 did and improved a couple things. So I think I would also throw it in A tier. Now, Batman Forever. As much as I love Jim Carrey, I don't think Batman Forever is that good. It's a nice introduction to Robin. It did a really good job with that. Two-Face is okay, but Jim Carrey as the Riddler just does not work for me. It's not like annoying, but it's just so far from character, from comic accuracy, that I just can't I can't say anything too good about it, so I'm gonna say it's a C tier. I don't think it's F, but I don't think it's anything higher than C. Next up, we have the infamous Batman versus Robin. Oh yeah, and they changed actors between the movies to Val Kilmer. But we have the infamous Batman versus Robin with, again, another actor change to George Clooney, which my man George Clooney did pretty good. They went into more depth with Robin. It was Chris O'Donnell? This is the actor's name for Robin? It's classic. This is the one that I initially saw growing up. I was born in 96. The first Batman movie I saw was Batman and Robin. Once I was a little older, we had it on VHS. That was the one I watched the most. A little later on, in like the early 2000s, is when I saw the rest of them. But yeah, Batman and Robin was the one that I initially started off seeing live action wise. I had it on VHS. I watched it all the time. Loved it as a kid. As an adult, oh my god, is it bad? I am a big fan of puns, so that's not what throws me off with what killed the dinosaurs, the Ice Age, the Batman credit card, all that stuff. It's not what makes it bad. What makes it bad is that the campiness is just a little too much comparatively to the first two movies, and I guess around the same as Forever. I feel like it's still a little overdone. The way that they did Bane in the comics is a very smart character. It has a very high intelligence alongside his strength. He's the peak physical human, same as Batman. It's just his peak's a little higher because every person's different. He's also incredibly smart, and he boosts himself with Venom. And here they have him as a dolt, I guess would be a good word. Just an idiot. Can't really communicate. Just works for Poison Ivy. Does whatever she says. Not really that great of representation for him. Poison Ivy did okay. Uma Thurman did a really good job. She nailed the activist, the nature activist part. It was a little campy, but that was the sense of the whole movie. I'm not going to throw that against her just because of that. In the same way that I will be, going on Arnold in a second. She did okay. She could have been, they could have written her character better, but she did okay. Robin did a good job. I liked the scene with the race. with the motorcycles across the rooftops and everything, how he's through the streets and everything. With what, Batgirl was there too? It's been a while since I've seen Batman and Robin. It's so hard to watch that movie now as an adult. But that was another thing. They introduced Batgirl. Alfred died. That was sad. And now to move on to Mr. Freeze. They had some good scenes with Mr. Freeze showing how he cared for his wife and how he was doing the things for her. But they really, really just did not do him right. Arnold did a good job, I guess, for what he was given. Again, they all did a good job for what they were given. But I just don't think it was that good of a movie. It dragged on for too long as well. I remember I watched it. The last time I watched it was probably like 2 years ago. Year ago. Somewhere around that time. With a couple friends. And we did not realize it drags on. It's 2 hours long. But it feels like 3. It feels ridiculous. It's like... You feel like it should be done 30 minutes before it actually is. It's weird feeling. Plus the ice suits at the end, the other suits that were designed that way purely to be marketable as toys and to differentiate from the other suits, wasn't that great. So even with a couple good things like, the introduction of Batgirl and the things that they did right with Poison Ivy and a couple things they did right with Freeze, it's gonna go on F tier. It's just not a good movie. As much as I loved it as a child, it's not a good movie. So now we get into the Nolan trilogy. We get to Batman Begins. Batman Begins is an amazing origin story. I think they did a really good job. Showing, how Bruce fell as a person after his parents' death. He kind of lost his way, lost himself, didn't really know what to do with his life. The introduction of Rachel as a character was okay. Not my favorite part. Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul was really good. He did an amazing job. Scarecrow was okay. I like the mask. The guy that played him was okay. Overall, it was a really good job. I like that they showed the training scenes as well. Obviously, it's not the same as the comics where he mastered every martial arts over however many years and started at 25. He was found in prison at I'm assuming 22, 20 maybe was when he was in prison, and was found by Roz and then trained for a couple years, maybe 3-4 years, came back at 25 if they're wanting to start him at the same time, as in the comics. And I like that they showed the Face Your Fears scenes and everything like that, but Bruce still had a line he wasn't learning across, though there was a weird scene at the end with the I don't have to kill you, but that doesn't mean I don't have to save you part, where he just let Roz die, which, spoilers, sets up plot for later movies. But it's a good introduction. It's not the best movie, but I'd throw it on B. It's because it's an origin story, it suffers from being slow paced comparatively to the next two. Next we have The Dark Knight. I'm just go ahead and say Heath Ledger as Joker is really good, a little overrated. I love Heath Ledger's Joker. He did an amazing job. But with the amount of praise people give him, it's overrated. He did an amazing job. He's an amazing Joker. It's not to the hype that everyone wants to hold him on to. He's not at the pedestal that everyone wants to place him on, in my opinion. Remember, this is all my opinion. But it did touch in more. I love the origin of Two-Face. I love the scenes with the beginning bank heist, how that all played out. I love the introduction of the Bat-Pod. Oh yeah, Morgan Freeman in the movie as Lucius Fox. Amazing casting. Simply wonderful job. I love the introduction of Joker, of Two-Face, the origin stories for that. How Batman was willing to be like, I'm gonna do this for my personal gain. I'm gonna go save Rachel, and wound up saving Two-Face. Wound up saving Harvey Dent, which led to him being created as Two-Face. and lost Rachel. And then again, the introduction of the Bat Pod and everything like that. The interrogation scene is really well done. How he appears behind Joker and everything like that. The hospital blowing up scene was really fun. I liked learning that the behind the scenes that it was a one take. That was all the chance they had, and his confusion with the with the button and the explosions not happening was genuine because it was supposed to blow up and it just didn't work initially. And when it did, he just kind of wandered into the bus and everything. They did it all in one take. It was amazing. It was amazing, amazing shot. But I would have to say I'd give this one. I would say I'd put this one at probably A, in between 89 and Returns. Yeah, I'd put it right there. All right, Rises, the introduction of Catwoman. I think it's just me. I didn't like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. Just, they didn't do a good job at, like, showing her as Catwoman with the suit. Like, I get it's supposed to be like a burglar. It's supposed to be, you know, not like a superhero suit, whatever. I guess it's just Anne Hathaway herself, where you look at her and you're just like, that's Anne Hathaway. You don't see her as somebody else. For me, I don't see her as somebody else. I see Anne Hathaway. That's it. And I feel like it's weird because, like, other actors throughout all these movies, I don't see as the person, you know, outside the movie. I see them as the character. Anne Hathaway, I just see as Anne Hathaway. There she is. It's Anne Hathaway. You know? That was it. So I didn't really like her character that much. Hot take? Maybe. But it's mine. So there you go. Tom Hardy as Bane did an amazing job. Amazing job. The voice and everything, which people like to meme, it's good. It's good. He did a great job.
That's a lovely, lovely voice.
The same as the Batman voice that people like to meme. His voice is better. Tom Hardy did an amazing job as Bane. He put on a lot of muscle. I understand that most of the angles they shot him at was from kind of lower, different angles to make him look bigger and taller because he's relatively short. He's relatively short. He's 5'9". So he's relatively short. They had to shoot him from different angles to make him look bigger. But it was a good movie. The scene where, you know, Batman's lost. Gets tossed in the prison in the hole and has to climb his way back out. Having to learn that, you know, having a reason to live, being afraid of death doesn't make you weak. It's what makes you strong. It's what gives you the courage and strength to surpass your limits in a way that you haven't done before. Losing that safety rope that he had in order to push past what he thought was possible was an amazing scene. And the ending was really nice. I know people don't like this movie as much as The Dark Knight. I do. I'm going to put it... I won't put it at top of A. I'll put it at top of A. Before we get into The Batman, the 2022 movie that just came out a couple months ago, let's go over BVS. I'll go over that quickly. BVS without extra stuff. So the non-extended cut, the theatrical release of BVS, not good. Not good. So much stuff was cut, it didn't make sense. It's just not that good of a movie. It's like the Suicide Squad back in 2016. Those movies aren't good. The theatrical releases aren't good. The director's cut, the extended versions, those are actually pretty good. So if I'd had to say theatrical release, would be an F. It'd be an F. It'd be better than Batman and Robin, but it'd be an F. The extended version, where they, you know, obviously extended, they added a couple scenes, they added a couple stuff in, it made the plot run a little smoother, made things make a little more sense. I'd throw that in B underneath Begins. It'd be like here. It'd be like in between B and C. That's where it would be. Now, like I said, I'm not going to get too much into it. Now, 2022 movie. I'm not even going to waste time. It's S. I don't care what you say. I loved it. Dude, I loved that movie. It was top notch. Robert Pattinson did an amazing job getting into a good shape. He got into not like ripped, dipped abs, golden boy like other Marvel superheroes. He got into fighter shape. That is the kind of physique you would have as a fighter. You look at MMA fighters, yeah, a couple of them have like ripped abs and everything, but most of them do have a little bit of fat on them, a little bit of weight to them and everything. They're not fully defined. You don't need to be. He had a fighter's body. He had a body that looked like it could kick your ass. His suit was good. I don't care what you say. My opinion, his suit was good. Obviously, I've done several videos of them, which you should go watch. Several reviews, several builds, and everything like that. You should go watch it. It's amazing. They're really good videos. Don't take my word for it. Take your word for it, because you also think they're good. That's right. I'm telling you. You think they're good videos too, so go enjoy them. The movie was good. The detective noir feel, it's the same as The Dark Knight, but it did it a little better, in my opinion. The murder mystery, you know, solve the riddles, solve the case, back and forth, the underlying drama with Bruce's parents and the history behind them, and Bruce still learning how to push through that aggression and let people in, because it starts in year 2. It doesn't start as an origin story, and that's amazing. People don't fully know that he's real. He's still just a myth, and they really show that. People don't think he's real. He's a myth. You know, when he first walks into the scene with the gang of thugs, you know, they're like, who the hell are you supposed to be? He beats the shit out of the guy. And instead of saying I'm Batman, he's vengeance. He's vengeance for all the people that have been in fear. Because he doesn't see himself as a hero. He doesn't see himself as a beacon of hope. He sees himself as retribution. He sees himself as the answer to the plague on the city, not as hope to the citizens. He wants people to be afraid of him. He doesn't care if everyone's afraid of him. He's angry. He wants to take that anger out, and this is how he's doing it. As it goes on, he meets Selina. She did an amazing job. They had an amazing outfit for her, because yes, while it wasn't like pure superhero Catwoman, it looked like Catwoman suit. It was a great job. They did an amazing job with it. The scene with her cracking the safe, them fighting, it was like a dance. Commissioner Gordon, they had a really well casted Commissioner Gordon. He did a good job. The scene toward the end, you know, Falcone, the whole Falcone thing was also amazing. The whole sub-story, the subplot with Falcone and Catwoman, Selina Kyle, was a great little subplot. It worked out well, and along with Bruce's parents and everything, it worked out amazingly. It all crescendoed into the big scene at the end where the flood walls are being blown apart, the city's flooding, everything's falling apart, and the only person that can stop it all is Bruce. It felt like an Arkham game. He came out of the shadows, he took them down, rolled right into the next one, never stopped moving. And that's how you do that. You never stop moving. He had the gadgets, he had the bombs, he had the batarangs, he had the grapple guns. It was amazing. When he gets taken down with the shotgun and they're on top of him, or and everything, and he takes the he gets them off, or Catwoman gets them off of him, and he has the adrenaline. People, for some reason, apparently thought that that might be the venom that Bane takes. No, it's just an adrenaline shot. To have that implemented into the suit, that's an amazing design. Amazing design. At the end of the movie, you know, he's helping save everybody. He's helping guide them with the flare through the water to safety. He is now being represented not as a terror of the night for everybody that wanders the night, but as a beacon of hope to the citizens of Gotham that they didn't have before. And he starts realizing that. Alongside the amazing combat sequences and everything, something that they really nailed in this movie that they didn't really get too well in the other movies is the amazing detective work that he puts into it. When it comes to figuring out the riddles, when it comes to having the contact lenses that record everything so he can go back the next day and look through it all and go over the details, anything he might have missed, look for clues. An amazing job with it all. So yeah, I'm saying it's S tier. Fight me for it. But that's it. And that's pretty much all the ones that we have. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the rest of my comments and leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel. It's a big help. And leave a comment down below Tell me your thoughts on how you would rank the movies and what you thought about this video. And I'll see you in the next one later.